Hopefully everything's good and you can see me clearly wearing my Paradiddle t-shirt. Good morning from Auckland, New Zealand. It's 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday here. And I'm trying to keep these live videos really consistent, just so they're at the same time each week. So hopefully this time works for you guys. I've got my computer here so I can check if any messages are coming in. And the concept here, what have I called this? The Drums and Coffee call-in hour. Okay. So the concept here, I thought, which would be, hopefully you guys enjoy it, is because I tend to have a topic each Tuesday, and then obviously you guys are commenting and chipping in. The idea here is that you guys direct the chat. So I'll hopefully get some nice, interesting comments or questions, and I'll let you guys dictate where this goes. I did have I've got a pile of topics that I want to get to for the live videos, and also some live lessons, which I'll get back into. But yeah, I thought for today it might be quite nice to, I don't know, I don't want to call it a Q&A, because whenever I do a Q&A, no one seems to have any questions. I think it actually works better as as a conversation. And whatever pops up, you know, we can go there. Actually, I've got a feeling that there could be a Deep Purple week, Deep Purple Discovery series on the way. That's one of the big classic rock bands that I missed along the way, and I know a lot of people would appreciate a Deep Purple series of videos. So I've got that in the back of my mind. Got a few PayPal requests that are waiting to be done as well. So yeah, it's business as usual. Got my coffee. Cheers, everybody. Let me know where you're watching from and if you have your coffee in hand. Penny, hello. Glad you could join in. So yeah, basically anything you guys want to talk about. Maybe it was something on one of the recent videos. Maybe there's a teaching thing you want to ask me about. Maybe there's a playing thing you want to talk about. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys, wherever you want to take this. Cameron O'Rourke has got his coffee in hand. Heavy blues fan. Poland. Hello. It blows my mind every time when I think, there's people from all around the world watching. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Hope you guys are doing good. Got the coffee going. Firing up my day. I've taken Connor to school, and now my day sort of looks like this. I get up, get the house stuff organized, bit of dishes, bit of getting the little fella ready for school, take him to school, then I can come home and I start working on videos or do a live video like this, get my practice done, get any teaching things together that I need to get together, and then I go off to my teaching. And then that probably doesn't sound like a very busy day, but it actually is a busy day. And then on the weekends, it's playtime, teaching and playing, so that's my week. Clockwork Angel. It's too darn hot for coffee here. Whereabouts are you, Clockwork Angel? Nuno Neves. Greetings from Portugal. Wow. Greetings from New England. Brian Yates. I'm going to have a little search here. Where is New England in terms of... New England's a state, right? New England. New England Patriots, right. Okay, East Coast. New England is a northeastern region of the United States comprising the states of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. So New England is a region, it's not a state. Okay, interesting. Learn something every day. Cameron O'Rourke, early in Australia. Deep Purple Week, yes. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get it done. I think Deep Purple Week will go down well. Oh, I don't know how to say your name, T3H Gear. I'm from New England as well. New England is a region. It's a group of states. How interesting. I do find it interesting how North Americans refer to themselves like that. I guess part of that is probably how different the different states are, right? And how, yeah, it is a bit of a regional thing over there, isn't it? It's such a big country and states can be very, very different. I have traveled around the states a little bit and absolutely loved it. What's up from Ohio, Brian Schutt. Robert McCambridge drums. I'm from New Zealand. I love it. That's a bit of Kiwi humor right there. Robert McCambridge. Now, I feel like, are we Facebook friends? I mean, New Zealand, drummers. It's a reasonably small community. Oh my God, if we are Facebook friends, that's going to be a bit embarrassing because I'm asking you, are we Facebook friends? Emmett McNamee. Hello from Ireland. I'm going to refrain from doing an Irish impression, but hey, my surname Rooney, apparently originally O'Rooney. You cannot get any more Irish than that. Church of the Holy Mo, Tennessee, Music City, USA. Okay, and we've got a couple of suggestions for videos coming in. Heavy blues fan, Andrew, you should check out the Jethro Tull My God live video. Clive Bunker, the drummer, doing a decent job. You know, that is the standard for this channel, decent. As long as you're decent, it's okay. I jest. Get some pretty ridiculous drummers on here. Cameron O'Rourke, maybe a look at the most famous drum fills. Now, I've already done a video, I've done 2 videos on that. So the first one was a Rick Beato video that he did on famous drum, actually no, it wasn't famous fills, it was famous intros. But they're also fills. You might want to check that out. And then I did one myself of what I thought were the 10 best, or some of the 10 best intros. So yeah, check out those. And I do want to do a part 2 and part 3 and part 4. Yeah, because that topic can just go on and on and on. Oh, Rooney, you're laughing at my Oh, Rooney. Ripcord, hey, I love your videos, Andrew. Thank you so much, Ripcord. Now, not R. Kelly. Yo, dude, lesson pricing. Might need to expand on that. Are you asking for a discussion around drum lessons and how to price it? Let me know. Eric McCarty, hello sir, watching from Henning, Minnesota and USA. You know what, I have to say, not having a specific topic for this video and letting you guys just talk and me talking back to you guys, it's actually really nice just to watch the comments as they roll in. It's a lot different to speaking to you about a topic and then coming back to the comments, and you know there's a little bit of a delay and it's hard to sort of get it flowing. Oh, not R. Kelly's clarified. How much do you charge for online lessons? I'm actually not doing online lessons at the moment. I was during lockdown. I probably still have the online lesson thing on my website, but yeah, I'm not doing it at the moment because I'm back to in person and I've got more than enough teaching. And if I'm going to be teaching online, I want to do it properly and have a full studio set up, take over a room, camera, mic, everything. So I'm not actually doing it at the moment. But pricing, I normally work towards $90 per hour for drum lessons. Now that might sound a lot, but let's do a quick conversion into US dollars. 90 New Zealand dollars to USD. That really, is that all? It translates into $56 US. So that would be per hour for teaching. I actually haven't put my rate up for a long time, so yeah, rampant inflation here at the moment of 7%, so I probably should look at putting that up because gas has gone up, food has gone up, teaching rate hasn't gone up. Chris Minahan, cheers from New Hampshire. That's up in the north, isn't it? New Hampshire. I remember meeting someone from New Hampshire. I worked at a summer camp in Carmel Valley in California in 2005. And I met someone from New Hampshire and they were very, very polite. Is that a common trait for people from New Hampshire? Very polite. There's other areas of the States where that's a stereotype as well, isn't it? Oh, Canada, obviously. Not in the States, I know that. But I know some areas. Is it Minnesota? Is famously polite? Not sure. Dicker Lump, 1277. Shout out from Germany. It's a great handle, by the way. Brian Deadmarsh, lifelong Black Sabbath fan here since 1970 from New England. Man, am I blown away with Black Sabbath. We're going to have to do another Black Sabbath week, I think. There's just too much to get into, and I'm going to have to just start at the first song, and just go zhoop through the whole album maybe in a week. But this is all time, right? This is all time. Not R. Kelly, Lowell, $56. Let me know what you think of that, whether that sounds expensive or cheap. Let me know what you think about that. Gas is $3.84 a gallon, just saying. Well, gas here is $3 a litre. $3 a litre. How many litres in a gallon? You know what? You'd be surprised. Everything is expensive here. How many litres in a gallon? I think it's 3. 2.6. Oh, no. Oh my God. So it's almost 4 litres to a gallon. Now, a litre of gas here, 91, is $3. And you're saying a gallon of litre is $3.80? Well, okay, $4.25. Eric McCarty's chipping in with $4.25 in Minnesota, was it? MN? You know what? When it comes to lesson pricing, if we go down that route for a little second, I find personally, when you tell someone that the lessons are $90 per hour, you get one of 2 responses. You either get $90 an hour. Now that person, to put it simply, is not earning $90 an hour. And then the other response you get is, oh, yeah, well, and they pay the invoice. So it's all relative, obviously. And really importantly, it's also relative to your experience. So I didn't start out charging that for lessons, but I did sacrifice and dedicate 3 years of my life to jazz school, and I've been teaching for a long time. So, you know, what's the Weller here ad? I think I'm worth it. Yeah, it can be a hard gig, you know, and there are a lot of costs involved as well. So you need to cover your costs, and also put food on the table. So yeah, it's so funny how people get about salaries, status, and anxiety around payment, and yeah, it's kind of sad in a way, I think. You know, Brian Yates, you get what you pay for, Andrew. You really do. It's actually really hard to explain some of this. Depends what you're looking for in lessons. Some people are only price driven, and they'll look at another teacher and go, well, he's charging $70 an hour, so I'm going to go to him. And my view on that is that's absolutely fine. Good luck. You know, and sincere, all the best, go well. And often, you know, you might know that teacher, and he might have been teaching, he or she might have been teaching for a couple of months. They might be teaching out of their bedroom with mattresses up against the wall as soundproofing on one kit. You know, if you're teaching on one kit, you're constantly having to get off the kit. The student gets on, you demonstrate something, get on. It's not good. That's why you'll see in my main teaching room, if you've seen those videos, you'll see 2 drum kits. I mean, the added value you get from 2 drum kits is insane. Not to mention, one thing that happens here in schools, and I'm assuming this happens in the States and all around the world, you can get discounted music lessons at school. And again, as Brian Yates said, you get what you pay for. And you know, you might sign up for these really cheap, it might be $90 for the whole school term, not for one lesson, for the whole term. And hello, turn up to these drum lessons and you're in with 4 other kids playing on drum kits, and it's like, okay, no one's going to learn anything for the term, but might have some fun. I don't want to be defeatist, but it's not how you learn drums. John Svensson. Hi, Andrew. Cool to catch you live. Shout out from Sweden. You're right. I should be sleeping. I'm not going to read out. Okay, I am going to read out your handle. Pop a turd out, McFartswell. You know, if my family surname was McFartswell, I would at least not call the child Pop a turd out. So the fact, Pop a turd out, McFartswell, it's unfortunate. Edward Belowski, love the Black Sabbath week. Yeah, I do hope to get to, well, I don't hope to get to more Sabbath. I will get to new more Sabbath. John Marimba, New Zealand gas price equivalent to $7.30 US per gallon, if my arithmetic isn't too messed up. That sounds about right. One thing you probably don't know about New Zealand is it's very, very bloody expensive here. Food, my lord, food is expensive here. I've had friends from the States come out and they've all gone, dude, what is up with your food prices? Like, it's bizarre. Springy, what's going on? I was watching Pink Floyd live at Pompeii again. I need to catch that, apparently. Heavy blues fan, I pay $62 monthly. So what's that, $15 a week? Lesson once in a week, 45 minutes. Is that in person? And this is in Poland, so I don't know what how that relates, but let me know. It is actually really interesting. Brian Yates, you need to figure out what you want to play before deciding on a teacher. Yeah, that's a good point. And I've talked about this really openly because I've been slammed by people who don't know how this works about, oh, you don't own a metal pedal. You know, this is where I need my Greta. How dare you? Oh, you don't own a double pedal? You can't play metal? You shouldn't be a teacher. You don't know what Danny Carey's doing in that Numa video? Shouldn't be teaching. You know, that's ridiculous. You know, the amount of students who are ever going to get to anywhere close to playing anything by Danny Carey is actually very small. Let's be completely honest. And if someone comes in wanting to learn metal, I don't teach them. I mean, it's logic. It's really strange to me that you would. It's coming from people who've never taught. They don't understand. It's no different to harassing a math teacher because they don't also teach history. It just doesn't make any sense. It's really dumb. It's really old, cliche sort of thinking. Beautiful. I love this. Not R. Kelly. A lady asked Picasso for a portrait. He did it in 5 minutes. Then turned to the lady and said, that will be $5,000. She said, that's outrageous. It took you 5 minutes to paint. Picasso said it took 30 years. Beautiful. That's the thing. I mean, when you're getting an experienced teacher and it's in person and you're literally taking up their time, right? I mean, that sounds really nasty, but it's time. It's one-on-one time, and you're hopefully getting really honest feedback from a place of experience. You cannot buy experience. You know, I had a really good student last night actually ask me, she was really frustrated with a fast kick pattern in a song we're doing. And it's just a double on a single kick, right? Two fast bass drums. And how do I get these even? And how do I get them both loud? And, you know, how do I do this? And if I was an inexperienced teacher, I might break down, for example, a technique I use for it. But over the years, I've learned that's actually not how this works. The way to learn how to do them is to start playing faster bass drums and let your body figure it out. That's a really inexperienced teacher thing, to just overlay everything I do onto the student. And that's what I don't do now. It's probably what I did at the start, and get a little bit carried away of technique and, oh, no, you're doing that wrong. You need to do this, you know, push pull with your wrist on those fast 16th note hi-hat beats. No, not necessarily. You know, you don't have my wrists. You haven't done the stick control exercises I've done. You're coming from this from your unique angle. You need to get in there and do it. You're going to figure out stuff. Try things, sure. That's a different thing. You know, I can still show you this, but I want to make it clear that's not the way to do it. There is no way to do it. Really good one on this was when I had Brendan Buckley on my NZ Drummer podcast, which you should all check out. Brendan Buckley is the drummer for Perry Farrell and Shakira. At the moment, he's playing for Morrissey. And he said something absolutely profound. There is no right or no single way to do anything. Anything. And any person or teacher who tries to tell you the right way or the best way, sorry, doesn't work like that. Music is not, you can't put music in a box like that. Ripcord, hold on, I've lost your comment. Did he get some new memes on your videos? Did he get some new memes on your videos? You wearing those out? Just saying. Hey, apparently I need some new memes. But my memes are so damn good, man. I need something better. If I'm going to replace it, I need something better. I need to talk to my younger students. They're all over the memes. John Svensson, funny coincidence. I was at a pub earlier tonight. You were at a pub on a Monday night? Come on, man. Got to know that, hanging out with colleagues, got to know that one of them lived in New Zealand for a year. One of the things she pointed out was the high living cost. Yeah. I don't know about it, what's going on here. It's actually always been quite expensive here, relatively. Don't know. Maybe a move's on the cards. I would love to live in the States. I don't know why. I've always wanted to live in the States. Even Australia, I think would be fun. But yeah, we'll see. Socrates hello. Eric McCarty. I'm totally fine with owners needing to charge a bit more because unfortunately when one has to pay out more on bills, food, gas and so on, it's simply the nature of the current worldwide situation. Yeah, supply shortage, multiple things, not to mention a lot of QE, quantitative easing, money printing has happened over the last 2 years, the likes of which we've never ever seen in the world. And this is, I think, pushing along the inflation. So things are rising. Building costs here, oh my God. Crazy. No, everything. Everything is way up. Helen, hello from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Helen. Springy, the thumbnail for this video, was that a flip phone? Yes, it was. Or a flop phone. If you have 2 left feet, do you wear flip-flops? You guys are loving the flip-flops, aren't you? I can't read this one. Jupus Maximus? What? You don't know what Steve Flynn played on Atheist Unquestionable Presence? You shouldn't teach. LMAO. This is how ridiculous it gets, though. The other thing is, if you're a beginner student, now I've had this when Snarky Puppy really broke really big, you know, and fair enough. I had students come in and going, oh, I want to learn Lingus by Snarky Puppy. And it's like, can we learn a rock beat first? Because we are a long way from that. And you know what? This is actually the role of the teacher. To actually say, hey, let's pump the brakes. Let's learn properly. Let's slow it down. And maybe after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, we could, we could start breaking down maybe a bar or 2 of the song. And to be really, really brutally honest, as a beginner drummer, you're not going to be playing Lingus. You're not going to be playing anything by Snarky Puppy. And I don't mean that to sound negative. And I'm not saying that to say you will never be able to play that. I'm saying, as a teacher, my advice would be pump the brakes. Let's learn about the drums first. Let's learn some of those building blocks. Brian Yates, I learned guitar when I was much older, but unlike with drums, I took lessons. Wish I had. John Marimba reminds me of the old engineer and hammer parable. I don't know that one. Let us know what that is. Helen, have you taught here about jazz? Did I miss it? You went to jazz school, right? I did go to jazz school. I don't think I've actually taught any jazz concepts on the channel. there's a really limited call for some of those jazz techniques and concepts, and unfortunately some of the independent stuff in jazz, the starting point for the independence in jazz is already pretty developed, so it can be hard work. And when you start teaching that, so I have had beginner students come in person lessons, and they say, I want to learn about jazz. First thing I'll ask is, oh, what jazz do you listen to? Oh, I don't listen to it. I just want to learn it. Okay. Why? Why would you want to learn jazz if you don't listen to jazz? But it's tricky because you're starting at already a little bit of there's an assumed level of independence and control to even sort of get started. So if you start there, a beginner student's just going to go, what? Like, I can't do that. And then you're kind of really stuck. So I would still go back and smash the fundamentals and get some basic things going on first. You know what? I have actually, Helen, I have done a few pad things. If you dig back through the channel, you'll find, have a look for my stick control and syncopation and Belson, what's that book called? Modern Reading Text in 4/4. Look, type into the search bar on my channel, stick control, then a separate search of syncopation, and then a separate search of Modern Reading Text in 4/4 by Louis Belson. And those 3 exercises will be enough to keep you going for a few years, I hope. Ripcord, you need new ones. Man, Ripcord is on my about these memes. Not happy. Change them up, man. Change them up. Church of the Holy Mo. I don't need someone to teach me note for note. I need the technique, and I'll figure out the rest. Sure. The other thing about teaching, this has turned into a bit of a teaching thing today. The other thing about teaching is every student's completely different. So people who don't know how teaching goes, or who haven't taught, or the guys that really fire shots like, you shouldn't be teaching, what they don't understand is you never know what's going to walk through the door. Never know. So I used to, when I started teaching, I used to plan my lessons. Now that's such a noob approach to teaching. Now the lesson is completely about the student, not about me. I'm not planning anything. I've got enough tools in the toolkit to make it whatever you need it to be about. So if you come in and you say, well, next week I've got an assessment, I need help with the song, we'll do the song. Or, hey, I really love AC/DC, can we do some AC/DC? We do AC/DC. So now, with a lot more experience, I couldn't do this before when I started because I didn't have the experience and the knowledge. But now, this is sort of what I'm getting at with what you pay for. It's such better quality when you've got someone with experience, but also someone who is into it. You can get older teachers, of course, and you get this with school teachers who don't care. They're done. They're cooked. And it's just, oh, when is it 3 p.m.? I just want to go home. So you need someone with experience, but also personality and energy. What do we got here? John Marimba, old engineer, here we go, he's going to expand on his point. Older engineer fixes an expensive cargo ship by tapping a pipe lightly with a hammer. Presents invoice, hitting pipe with hammer for $10,000. Client balks, engineer tears up original invoice. New invoice, hit pipe with hammer, $1. Knowing where to hit, $9,999. Keep them coming, John. You're nailing it. Clockwork Angel. I'm just starting bass lessons. I've been listening to isolated Getty bass lines. Well, that's where you've gone wrong. Trying to find a simple one to maybe learn. It's been futile. You just started bass lessons. You don't do Getty bass lines. The guy's a maniac. What sounds good? I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the drumming myth interviews that I've done with my drumming friends. We sort of get into all this stuff. What sounds good when you're playing music is basically, you could boil it down to two things: time, tone. So are you playing in time? Are your note lengths accurate? Or are your note lengths just whatever's coming out? Because that's not how the pros do it. Intonation. And just rock solid, beautiful feeling time. And then the tone. Are you actually hitting the note properly? You know, could I pick out any note of the line during the song? Could I pick out any note and it's the right tone and length for like a recording? This is what happens with, I guess, amateur bassists or guitarists or drummers or anyone. And I see this a lot in the high school stuff. They don't think like this, and they don't have the time on the instrument to really get that intonation right. So what you end up with is it's a bit of a dog's breakfast. So you get, some of them are on, some of them are off. Some of the note lengths are too short, some of them are too long. And you get an overall messiness, which doesn't sound right. When you go see pros, my buddy Mark went and saw Pineapple Thief with Gavin Harrison. You know, what you're getting there from note one to the last note is everything is on. And it's just, you just relax because everything's it's just right. It's hard to explain this stuff. It really is. I'm sure most of you will get what I'm talking about, but it can be hard to put this into words. Helen, I like it when you explain what you're listening to, kind of like interpreting a language I don't know. Yep, music is absolutely a language. Some say it's the universal language. And again, coming back to like a good jazz group or any good group, really, but especially in jazz, there's a real conversational aspect where the people in the group, you could think of it as they are having a conversation. They are talking. They're just not speaking to each other, but they are speaking via their instruments. And I've definitely felt this when I play with really good. I normally think of this as a bass player thing for me, being a drummer. The bassist, when I play with a really, really good bassist, I can hear and I can feel how they're feeling about things. It's weird. It's a weird one. And this goes beyond playing in time and just hitting the notes, way beyond that. It's like it's a real back and forth conversation. It can be really powerful, and it's a great feeling when you're in that pocket. Springy, that's why I write my own songs mainly. No one knows if I messed it up. For simplicity, call me MCM today. What is the significance of these Roman numerals? I could copy paste it, but it'd be more fun if you just tell me. So yeah, if you're just joining in, this is just a very casual chat, and I wanted you guys to kind of direct it, really. as opposed to me talking about a topic, and when I can get into your comments, this is supposed to be a bit more about your comments. Church of the Holy Mo. I took contrabass lessons from a cellist. Close enough. Yeah, I think we're a bit out of sync there. I'm not sure what that's referring to. John Svensson, just curious. Some months ago, I suggested in a YouTube comment to check out Freak Kitchen. Have anyone else suggested them? I don't think so. I don't think so. Freak Kitchen. Have a quick look at that. Experimental rock band from Sweden, formed in 1992. Okay. I'm down. Sounds good. Elementary music rocks. Loving your shirt. Yay, the paradiddles. Okay. The years MCM, they mean 1987 and 1995, aka the best years of my life. Why is that? Let us know. John Marimba, saw Pineapple Thief in New York City a bit more than a week ago. They had a computer crash that was driving the keyboard sounds. So Gavin Harrison comes up front and does a sleight of hand magic trick. What? Is there anything this guy cannot do? Was it a good trick? That's ridiculous. Jipus Maximus. If you like Freak Kitchen, check out a band named Thonk. That is a band name and a half. I love that band name Thonk. Just thinking of the computer crash, I did a show, I'll probably mentioned the story before, but I was doing a musical theatre production, quite a big one, in a big theatre. And the show started, it was into the run, it was like a few weeks, I think, into the run of the show. So it wasn't like it was a early mistake. It was everything was running smoothly in the show, you know, night after night. And then one day, I couldn't tell from the orchestra bit, but I could see the MD on her headphones going, uh-oh. And she wasn't playing, she's normally playing keyboard. She wasn't playing as much, and then speaking to someone and face, and then speaking to someone. And then she said, guys, we're going to have to stop. And this was about, I think, 15 minutes into the show. Now, this whole show was heavily sequenced, all click tracks, playing along, and it was all sequenced. The lighting was all sequenced off the click tracks. Very, very highly choreographed show. And what had happened was none of the lighting worked. So you had like only just a plain white light in this, you know, highly priced ticketed show. And there's no lighting. It's just white light. And they tried to fix it on the run for like a couple of minutes, and had obviously had like a crisis of, are we actually going to have to stop this? It came to the point of, do we do this entire show with no lighting? Lasers, all kinds of stuff. It was a heavy part of the show. Do we do a whole show without that? Or do we stop and actually have to reboot all the computers again? And they stopped. I died a little bit that day. So the really weird bit was, because they couldn't pick up from where they were, because the whole thing was sequenced out, they actually just had to restart the entire show again. So people saw the first 10, 15 minutes again, but with lights and lasers. The whole thing though with a musical theatre production is that illusion. You know, you want to be immersed in the show, and I guess in a way taken away to a different world, right? And nothing breaks that illusion like ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to restart the show. It's just, oh God. Anyway. Chris Gowdy, I played my drums live on real drums for the first time. Oh, live, okay. I played live on real drums for the first time in a year after practicing only on E-kit. I love E-kit, but nothing beats playing real drums and cymbals. Absolutely. I think my next series of covers, I'm going to actually jump back on the acoustic and record my covers on acoustic. You're right, you can't beat it, man. Yeah, I enjoy my E-kit as well, but I can't get feel on it. I can't create feel. Most of the feel from drumming, if you think about this, is actually probably from your hi-hats and cymbals in general, with the nature of them, with the range of dynamic you can get. Now, E-kit cymbals, I mean, it's pretty good. They do a pretty good job, but they're not like acoustic cymbals, and you can't get any like nice lope happening on E cymbals, and that really detracts from the groove, in my opinion. I gotta be really honest. I think the toms and the snare and the kick on the E-kit, hey, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the rubber pads, but the mesh heads that I've got, I just tuned them really, really low, so they're really as loose as I can possibly get them to make them feel like a real drum head. You know, I see people with E-kits and they just crank all the heads as tight as they can and bing! No. That's cheating. I love Swedish music, especially their death and black metal and prog rock. Opeth, Meshuggah, and Meshuggah from, they are too. Anecdoton are great if you like King Crimson, the Flower Kings, if you're more into Yes. John Marimba, Gavin Harrison's magic trick was as charming as his drumming, if perhaps not quite as impressive. I love that. It's a very nice way of saying it. Okay, John Spencer, they have drum playthroughs with the drummer Bjorn, would fit nicely for the channel. Among them, I'm in love with Saving Up For and Confusion to the Enemy. Man, I'm telling you, Sweden produced some serious musicians. I mean, we've got Dirty Loops, of course, as well. John Svensson, can you hit me in the comments of this video? Not just the chat, but the actual comments. That would be good, just so I can refer back to that. Yeah, I might have to sign off now, guys, but yeah, this was just, it's all about, you know, keeping these live chats consistent. Today was hopefully all about you guys. Hopefully I got to most of the comments. Your thumbnail for this live, you look very much like Bruce Willis. Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that. Yippee-ki-yay. Yeah, so I really wanted to talk to you guys, not talk at you. So I might just throw one of these in every now and then, just for you guys to drive the conversation. Yeah, it's just nice. I just love even seeing where you guys are from. You know, price of gas. Can't believe we talked about that. Price of gas on a drumming channel. Come on. John Marimba, E-kit cymbals make my hands hurt. It's great for wood shedding something when the kiddo is sleeping, but I need to concentrate on playing loose, lest my hands bother me the next day. I've had the same thing. I never ever get sore or I don't know, any problems from playing on an acoustic kit. I can get a bit sore playing on the E-kit. I don't know, but it's something about the rebound. Yeah, I don't know. It's a great tool though. I mean, it's pretty amazing what they've done. What really surprised me with the E-kit is actually the dynamic levels within the snare and the toms. For what I do these days, which is mostly pop and rock, I want my kick drum to be pretty sledgehammer the same all the time. But yeah, the dynamic range within the snare and everything is really impressive actually. So yeah, I think I will have to sign off, guys. I do have a rather busy day. Thank you so much for jumping in on this live video. And who knows, maybe next week, maybe we could do another, get back into our live lessons as opposed to a live chat. I realized not everybody's a drummer. Not everybody wants to be a drummer. Not everyone has a kit. I did a series on drum lessons for people who don't have sticks or drums. So you can go back and check those out in the live lesson, the live video catalog. But maybe we could check out a couple of things. Oh, that's why I stopped doing the live lessons. I lost my little mic. I've got a mic that clips into the phone, which helps with the live lessons. Because for me to, if I was going to just use my phone with no mic, I would need to be so far away for you to be able to see the pad that you're going to lose the voice. So that's why I stopped it. That's right. I forgot about that. I'll wait till I get my new mic for the phone, and then we'll get back into the live lessons. But again, thank you so much for the support. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything. Thanks for talking to me and commenting. And I will see you tomorrow with something a little bit different, actually. Hope you guys dig it. Catch you then. Ciao.